What's poppin', everyone? It's Scout Eveleth bringing you another awesome video here today, and in today's video we're going to be talking about something very important. This topic actually came up with a client who I just recently met, and in talking to them I realized that most people probably don't have a good understanding for the difference between an MLS and a VLS agent, what that even means, and the different roles that the agents have, even though they do similar things. I will be going in depth explaining the difference between an MLS Realtor and a VLS agent, who is going to be the best choice for you depending on your situation, and how knowing who to choose will save you a load of time, money, and heartache down the road, regardless of if you're buying or selling. Before we get into that, I am a licensed realtor here in the state of Florida, so if you are considering moving to the Villages or just wanting to stay up to date on everything that's happening here, make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you can keep up to date. Also, I wanted to make sure I gave a quick shout out to the sponsor of today's video, and that would be the like button. So if you are looking to support a small YouTuber for the low cost of absolutely nothing, make sure to smash the like button today. It only takes a second, and it greatly helps out the channel by promoting it to more wonderful people just like yourself. Thank you so much. Alrighty guys, so with all that said, thank you so much again, and let's get into it. If you don't know what the difference is, let's start by explaining what am I even saying when I'm saying an MLS Realtor versus a VLS agent. In the Villages, it's a little bit unique because there are two types of choices that you have when you are buying or selling. It just depends on what you're looking to do. You can either work with an MLS agent or a VLS agent. I myself am a MLS agent, so that's just a quick disclaimer there. I did try to collect all of this information and present it in a way that I thought would be as fair and unbiased as possible, just so you can have the best information when you are deciding to buy and sell, just allowing you to make the best decision. If you're using or working with an MLS agent, a realtor, they can only help you buy pre-existing homes. It's not going to be any type of new homes. So if you're looking to buy a lot and have a home built, unfortunately that is not something an agent like myself or any other MLS agent is going to be able to help you with. It's going to have to be with the Villages. So if you are looking to buy new or buy pre-existing, that could be with the Villages. Or if you were looking to buy pre-existing, that could be with an MLS. So that's one of the main differences there. Secondary to that is I myself am a realtor, and anybody who is a part of the MLS is a realtor, but any type of Villages agent or VLS agent is not a realtor. They do not have the realtor designation. So what does that even mean, right? What does it mean to be a realtor? Well, there's a few differences. Again, as a realtor, we will have access to the MLS, multiple listing service. So if you're currently here in Florida or the Villages or anywhere else in the country, probably know of a realtor or how the MLS works. So if you go online normally through a website like Zillow or realtor.com and you're browsing the homes, all of that is normally done with an MLS agent. However, here in the Villages, you have the option of being able to view homes on the MLS, like you're probably familiar with, or it could be on the VLS. If you're looking on the MLS, you're only going to find homes that are associated with MLS Realtors. Now, if you're looking on the VLS, this allows you to see homes that are new construction homes, because again, you can only do that with a VLS, or if people have decided to list their home with the VLS or directly with the Villages, you'll see those homes available there as well. So that is going to be a factor that plays into it as well, who the sellers have listed their home with. So if it was with the Villages, then only a Villages agent can help you buy that home, and if it's with the MLS, then only an MLS agent can help you buy that home. So if somebody was working with me and we were looking around and checking out, trying to find them good homes, and they end up finding a home that's listed on the VLS, unfortunately I would not be able to help them, and vice versa. If they were working with a VLS agent, they cannot cross. We can only stay within the same designation or the same organization that we operate in. Now, another difference is to become a realtor, we have a code of ethics that is required. It's something that we had to do. That is not a requirement for VLS agents, and I am not saying or implying in any way that they do not abide by a code of ethics. I'm just saying this is a difference between being an MLS agent and a VLS agent, as well as like trainings and other things. So there is, some differences there, but those are just a couple of them. Another thing that I've noticed is there's more transparency overall on the MLS. It's more standardized, I would say, is probably the word. And there's sometimes a little bit less transparency on the VLS with the Villages website. It doesn't always show clear indications for days on market, for example, how long a home has been available. And I do know of circumstances where if a home went pending, you cannot see the price it was previously listed for before the home went pending. You'll never be able to determine what the pending price was until the home ends up closing, but some of that information is just not as readily available on the VLS as it is on the MLS. So just another consideration there. Something else in my personal experience and based on a few people who I've talked with is you generally have a little bit more flexibility in terms of the length of the contract, overall terms of the contract, and cancellation fees. So if you were working with somebody and let's say you had your home listed and it was with the VLS, in my experience at least, sometimes those terms are a little bit more rigid. The contracts that you sign and the cancellation fees and things can be a little bit higher. So definitely keep that in mind before you sign any type of contract, regardless of who it's with. Make sure you're reading those very carefully, know what you're signing, and just be mindful of that. Something else that's probably different between the MLS and the VLS is searching for homes online. And what I mean when I say that is if you go on the Villages website where you can see all of the new construction and the pre-existing or the pre-owned homes that were listed with the Villages, it's a little bit easier to filter out some of the homes depending on the areas that you're looking in, or if you wanted something that was waterfront, for example. It's a little easier to filter that because their website was designed specifically for homes in the Villages versus something like Zillow or Realtor.com. Those are international, websites that can have all types of property information anywhere in the world. So they're not quite as customized. Now, it doesn't mean that you can't filter. Of course you can. There's good filters and things that are in place. But generally speaking, I think it's probably a little bit easier if you are doing it on the Villages website. Now, for the next part here, this is a pretty big consideration. So if you are buying or selling, I would say both of these apply to you. Anything that is on the MLS is going to syndicate to or post to the major platforms. So that's going to be Zillow, Trulia, Realtor, Redfin, Homes.com. All of those websites are going to pull from the MLS and you'll be able to get that online exposure. Where if you list with the VLS, with the Villages, you're only getting the exposure of their website. That's the only way that you can do that. So it definitely gives you some more online exposure being with the MLS just because of all the websites that are able to pull that information, but the Villages has it set up to where with their listings they can only be found on their website. And generally speaking, the resale homes in the Villages, normally about 70 to 80% of those are happening on the MLS and about 20 to 30% are happening on the VLS. Alright, so this next portion here, this is taking a look at the pre-owned homes that are currently for sale. On the left-hand side, I went on and just took a screenshot from Zillow. Anybody has access to either of these websites, so the left screenshot is just from Zillow and the right screenshot is from the Villages website. As you can see, for pre-owned homes that are currently for sale, you have 512 homes that are available pre-owned on the MLS and about 186 that are available on the VLS. These homes are available to view on any of the websites that are listed and associated with them. So earlier I know I mentioned a lot of these are the big websites that are drawing in lots of buyer traffic for people who are looking for homes. So you're getting access to all of these websites and exposure from all of these, as well as all the broker websites. So this is going to include the really big brokerage companies, RE/MAX, Coldwell Banker, Realty Executives, Keller Williams. All of those companies are going to be advertising these listings as well. And in my experience, it ends up being about 150 websites for the big ones that your home gets to be published on. So that helps get some good exposure out there for you. Versus if you're listing with the Villages, it's only going to be available on their website, which is thevillages.com. So if people know to look there, that's great, and they can check those homes out as well. But people who maybe are not as familiar with the villages and are more used to how they normally sell, buy in real estate, maybe where they're from, they may not know that. So it's something that they may not be aware of. So definitely just keep that in mind. All right, let's see how all this actually applies. So I went ahead and pulled up Zillow.com here, which anybody has access to, whether you're a realtor or not. And all I did was type in the villages, and you can see there are currently 510 homes that are currently displaying on the website here. And if you were looking at a particular area, you can drag it around a little bit and zoom in and check out all the particulars. And if you wanted to enter in some filters for price, beds and bathrooms, home types, all of that is available. So if we just scroll through here and we take a look and just click on a fairly random listing here, let's say this one for example, it'll give you some good information about the listing. So you can see that this was recently price cut. It has the amount that it was price cut by and the date. It gives you the beds and baths here. There's the total square footage, and here's the address. You can see when the home was built, the lot size that it's on, the price per square foot, and Zillow also has a Zestimate for what they believe the property is worth. Here in the description, you can see that it says that this is the village that it's in, and it will sometimes also talk about the model of the home. So it's 3.2. This is an Amarillo model, and you can expand this down and check out some of the details here. And here's the company it's listed with. As you scroll down, you'll get some more details, and I'm not going to bore you guys with all of that, but it talks about the price history and a little bit more in-depth information about the homes. So now let's check out the Villages website. So all I've done is go to thevillages.com/homefinder, and there's two things that I did. The first was that I turned off the new home filter, because like I said, if you were looking to buy a new home, you're going to have to work with the Villages. If that's the path that you think is best for you, then definitely by all means, you can turn the new home filter on and check out all the new homes that are available. But comparing apples to apples, where we're only looking at pre-owned homes, I made sure to turn this off. And under filters here, we're going to go ahead and turn off pending homes as well, because these are homes that are currently under contract and not available. So you can see all of the homes that are available here. Now it doesn't show how many homes are available like it does on Zillow. I went ahead and counted like we saw on the previous slide, and it's about 186. So we had over 500 homes that were available on the MLS and about 186 that are available on the VLS. So if you're looking for homes and you don't really know how or where to get started, it's probably best to talk with an agent, try and meet one, or if there was a particular listing that you were interested in, maybe reach out to that agent, and then you can start exploring what their platform has to offer, whether it's on the VLS or MLS. But I would personally recommend finding a MLS and VLS agent, so that way you're getting everything that is available on the market, and you can have a good overall picture of what is available and your options and everything like that. So anyway, back here on the website, if you are checking out some information on the homes and you click on one, for example, so we could click, let's say this one here. It gives you some pictures where you can click on and check out the home more in detail. It shows that this is a cabana villa, and it has some information here as far as the address. There's the price, bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage, shows the village that it's in, right here in Citrus Grove. Here's the description, and it talks about a few details with the home. You can read through this or whatever listing you're interested in. One of the things that it does not have on here that I have heard people complain about is it does not advertise the price per square foot of a home. So sometimes that is a valuable metric that buyers will use when comparing different homes if they're similar, trying to understand, what's a good value, not wanting to overpay. That's something that some buyers value. Something else, like I previously mentioned, if we turn off the pending home filter and we go ahead and click on a pending home, like this one here, you cannot see what it was previously listed for, and it doesn't give you any information for how many days it was on market or how long it took to go under contract like it would for the MLS, like on Zillow or something. So there's a little bit less transparency there in that regard. Now they do have some more information that they share. It just kind of depends on what you're interested in, but be mindful of those things, that it doesn't show the days on market, price per square foot, and if the home went pending, it doesn't show you where it was listed previously in case it does come fall out of pending and maybe come back on the market. So with all that said, how can this apply to you, and how can you take this information and utilize it to make the best decision possible? Well, in my opinion, if you're looking to buy a new or build a new home, really your only option is going to be to go with the villages. So that simplifies it pretty good for you. You'll want to find a VLS agent if you're buying new, or contact them about getting a new home built, and that's the path that you'll go. Now, if you're looking to buy a pre-existing home, again, your path is probably a little bit more set, because if you have a particular home that you're interested in and it is listed on the MLS, then ultimately you're going to have to work with an MLS agent to be able to purchase that home. Same thing with a VLS. If you find a home on the Villages listing services and it's listed there, you're going to have to find a VLS agent to work with. Now, if you're in the stage where you're looking or you're not 100% sure, again, I would recommend having one of each agent, so that way they can both send you information for what's available, and you have all the information and tools necessary to be able to make the best and most informed decision when you decide to make your move here to the Villages. Now, if you're thinking about selling your home, what does this mean for you? I would say that depending on your area and where you're looking to be, these factors will play a little bit into your decision, but ultimately about 70 to 80% of homes that get resold in the Villages are through the MLS, and that fluctuates a little bit depending on the area, but overall the majority of resale homes do happen with the MLS. So if you know an MLS Realtor, that may be the best way to go for you, but if you also know a VLS Realtor and want to give it a try, you could definitely do that too. Just keep in mind that regardless of what you do, if you decide to list with an MLS Realtor, you're not getting all of the exposure that you would because it's not showing up on the VLS website, but the same thing applies if you decide to list with the VLS. You're not getting all the exposure that you would of those, other websites and the major ones like Zillow and things like that. So regardless of what you end up deciding, unfortunately, there's no way to be able to market to all the buyers possible, because when you're with the one system, that's basically what you have to be committed to and what you have to stick with. Well, I hope you found this video helpful. I know there was a lot of information in there. Hopefully it simplified the process for you a little bit, where you can see what makes the most sense for you. And if you're thinking about buying or selling and wanted some insight or some opinions, I'd be happy to give you my 2 cents about it. And even if you weren't thinking about buying or selling, again, I hope this video was helpful to you and taught you something about how the Villages works, because this is definitely a unique market where we have the 2 systems that's not really common pretty much anywhere else. And again, a quick reminder, if you did enjoy the video today, please go ahead and smash the like button. It really helps me out a lot. And if you subscribe to the channel, it's going to help promote it on the YouTube algorithm to more wonderful people like yourself. And it really means a lot, because I do try and put a good amount of time and effort into these videos, so I do appreciate it. But thank you guys so much for watching. It was a pleasure, and I hope you enjoyed the video. And until next time.